Today on Fishing with Gussy, I'm with my longtime fishing buddy Don Lamont from Hooked Magazine, and we're going to go pound some fall crappies. That's the edge of this hump, so I just hit that.
Yeah, look at that.
There. So now,
nice.
Some fish. That's probably what we're looking for right there.
There we go. That's what we're gonna do. That's that's mine there.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. Buoy's going out.
Okay.
We're crappie fishing today. It's fall. It's long underwear weather. Don's bundled up a little better than me, but
see, I'm a lot older than Jeff, so my blood flow's not as good as he is.
Don Lamont, everybody. If you've watched TV fishing shows for any amount of time, you'll recognize Don. He's been in the fishing industry for probably since before I was born, right?
Well, almost 35 years now, Jeff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's older than me.
Okay. Well, good.
That's not a shot or anything. That's a lot of fishing knowledge, so I hope I learn a few things today.
I'm just glad to be here with you. I fished with you once before and I really enjoyed it, so thanks for having me out.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have a good day. We just found the mother load of crappies on the Hummingbird, so we're gonna drop the trolling motor and see if we can catch them. All right. I can't wait. That one didn't bite.
I can watch my little jigging spoon down there.
I got down to the bottom a little bit before you did, I think, buddy.
Oh, wow, look at that.
This might not be what we're looking for, though. There's crappies down there, but this one seems like it's fighting a little harder than a crappie.
Mr. Walleye.
Mr. Walleye.
A nice one, too.
Yeah.
Wow. Very nice, Jeff. How many am I allowed with my conservation license?
We're on the crappie hunt today, but he's lucky, because that's what we like to see right there if we're on the meat hunt.
I blew it.
Did you have a customer?
I got him. I was going to say I missed him the first time, but not the second time. Oh boy, what do we got here? I think we have a nice crappie, Jeff.
I have no net on board today.
Well, you're a typical professional angler.
So you're on your own. That's a slavo, buddy.
Well, look at that.
Awesome.
You caught the walleye and I caught the crappie. Now that's what a good guest, our good host will do, right? Just on a little jink.
I'm not that nice of a guy.
Okay,
I
there
got
we
my
go.
own now, though. So.
Okay, very nice.
Everyone that's watched the show enough knows there's no...
Oh, look at that.
Oh, we'll probably have to edit this part out because yours is bigger than mine.
Very nice.
But yeah, no, that's a good start.
Boy, we've been in the water 3 minutes, 1 walleye and 2 crappies.
And we haven't even got to the marker yet where they were stacked about 5 feet high, so.
Wow. Now this is a good guide, I'm telling you right now.
These suckers are in trouble. All right. I'm using a minnow bait right now. This is just a little impulse minnow, 3-inch minnow. I bit off about a 1/2 inch off the head just to make it a little bit smaller, and one of the little gammy UV colored jigs so those fish will be able to see it down in that deeper water, and that's it. That's simple. There's certainly times when crappies get finicky and you need really small stuff to catch them, or meat, live minnows. But when they're active, fall is a really good time to catch them. Here, we got some under us here right now. Yeah. When they get active, you really don't need to use really small stuff or meat to catch a few fish. So there, I'm down to the bottom. Oh. Immediately, like I'm not even getting it to the bottom and they're racing up for it. A couple drive-bys. Oh, miss. See, there's my bait right here. So watch what happens. I got a little interference because I just sort of set the hook, but you can see there's my bait going back down, and here's some fish. Here's a fish coming up for it right now. So I'm going to tease him. I'm going to pull it, keep moving it up very slowly. And he's right on it. I mean, he's right on it. Come on. Keep moving it up. One thing I like to do, sometimes they go back fine. Give them, there, that one went. You give them a little slap. I throw them, you know, you're not hurting them throwing them from 3 or 4 feet, and sort of hit their, you know, hit them on the side on the water, and a lot of times that just kind of shocks them, maybe kicks a little bit of air out, and they're able to go back down. So that one went. But if you're fishing them, you know, in water that's deeper than 30 feet, you got to know that you probably are going to want to keep most of the fish that you catch.
Man, we found the mega school today. Stick around, there's going to be more big crappie action coming up after this.
Northland Fishing Tackle is a proud sponsor of Fishing with Gussy. Shop online at northlandtackle.com. Made by fishermen for fishermen. Tech Tips is sponsored by Shimano Rods and Reels. Visit fish.shimano.com.
And when you're gearing up for crappies in the fall, you want to be thinking deeper water. These fish are going to be located in the deep basins of the bays or the lakes that they live in. So this particular, we're in a big bay right now, and it's got a lot of shallow water in behind us where they spawn and spend, you know, much of the summer. And then come fall and winter, they get out in these, you know, mud flats basically, and we're fishing in about 25 feet of water today. So you're going to want to get baits that get down to the fish fairly easy. So I'm using on one of my rigs today, I've got a little, that's an 1/8 ounce Northland Gamakatsu jig. And they've got these new UV colors that are really bright underwater, and a little impulse minnow, little minnow imitator. So that goes down really, really fast, easy to see on the sonar. My second bait today is the new buckshot flutter spoon. So that's a fairly light spoon. It's got a little bit of a rattle in it, and I'm just tipping it with a little 1-inch little, they call that an impulse tadpole. And it's just, you know, something to, I like to tip my spoons with something, but if the fishing's a little tougher, you can definitely use a minnow head on there. That'll work good. 8-pound Power Pro on both of them, and then I'm putting on a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. Both of these rods are G Loomis 7.6 medium action, so they're fairly light, and you know, hopefully, I've missed a number of fish today. I think they're actually biting it almost too hard, and I'm pulling them out, but I don't feel like I'm tearing them out. But you want to have those longer, soft rods, and you're going to be able to hook fish a little bit better and not lose them when you're fighting them, because they've got a pretty thin mouth. So that's about it right there. Baits that get down to the bottom fast that you can see on your sonar, and that's the ticket for catching fall crappies.
Tech Tips is sponsored by Shimano Rods and Reels. Visit fish.shimano.com.
Big boy crappies.
Oh yeah, we're on the big boys now. Double header. I got a different, oh, this is a monster. Oh, look at this thing. Wow. Can I have my picture, please? Woo. Oh man, look at this, guys. Look at this at home, just for you. Woo! That's exciting. I'll throw him back if I can. See if he goes. Oh, is he solid?
Yeah.
Wow.
They are stacked, I'm telling you. This feels like a pretty nice one.
Whoa, there's a beauty. Look at
Yeah, another,
Wow.
just another
Pretty nice fish.
nice crappie.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, that's a beauty.
another nice one.
when you have these kind of days and find a bunch of fish, that's why crappie fishing is so fun. Going back down. It's pretty sweet. Here we go. Here's another one coming. Oh, miss again. Just a nipper. He's coming back though. He's gonna be in trouble. You can see on the screen, look at these fish, just like, there he is. Oh, well, you can actually see my line jump when they hit it.
Video game.
Video game. They're probably smaller fish that we don't really want anyway. But look at this. This is all crappies right here, chasing my bait around. There we go. Got him finally. I'm keeping my bait fairly high. You can see I'm up around, we're in 25 feet of water and I'm up around 20 feet. And usually if you can kind of get these fish aggressive and chasing like that, get them to come up for your bait, they're going to be a little more, you know, apt to bite. And it's the same, I kind of learned that ice fishing. If a lot of people want to drop their bait right to the same level that the fish is at, but usually if you can keep it up above them, they're gonna be, you know, if they have to swim up for it, I think they're gonna be more likely to be triggered to bite and want to bite. So
I totally agree with that.
that's a big beauty. Awesome.
Well, I started a little bit later in life because I grew up in Winnipeg and I actually never fished when I was a kid, if you can believe that.
Really?
Yeah, I took a job in 1979 in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and I met some guys up there, and one of them happened to have a fishing boat, and I fell in love with fishing, so I decided that I wanted to make it a career. So how do you make it a career? I started as a guide, and
Yep.
I ended up fishing tournaments. So it's kind of interesting. I've followed your career, Jeff, and it really parallels a lot of what I did. I ended up getting my TV show back in 1989. Did 156 episodes of that, and the reason I got my show was because I fished tournaments. In 1989, I fished 17 tournaments across North America, and as you know, that kind of, you know, establishes your credibility. You know, if you do well in tournaments, like you had a great tournament down on the FLW tour, this in the top 10, right, this year.
Yep.
So, you know, it gives you a lot of credibility. When you speak about angling, people believe you because you're out there, you're doing it, you're fishing all the time. Now I'm kind of semi-retired, but I'm doing Hook magazine, so it's been a lot of fun, and I'm writing a book.
Are you really?
Yeah, about how I got started in the fishing industry, and mostly some of the crazy things that happened to me along the way. Some funny stuff.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
As anglers, these are the kind of days that we live for. More big crappie action coming up after this.
Fishing with Gussy is proudly sponsored by Lake of the Woods Sports Headquarters. Fishing, hunting, outdoors. 702 Lakeview Drive in Kenora, Ontario.
This feels like a nice one, too. Yeah. Awesome. Changed up my bait a little bit just because that's the tournament angler in me, I guess. You always want to be looking for the next thing or something different. So that's a new little spoon that Northland has coming out for the ice season this year. It's the Buckshot Flutter Spoon, and I've got a little 1-inch little tadpole on there for a little bit of bait, but yeah, something different. Okay, you can see, I'm gonna get some of these out. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but you can see the little black worms that they're eating just sticking out of this guy's stomach. So we're gonna see if we can inspect some of these a little bit closer. And a lot of times, you know, when you're cleaning them, it's nice to kind of to see some of that stuff. But well, there's a bunch. There's like literally hundreds of them in there. But that's what they are. These little tiny black little worms, and I don't know what kind of worms they are, but that's what those things are eating. So they're aggressive. It's the color, the bait doesn't seem to matter today, but knowing that, you know, you might want to try some little tiny black hair jigs, black something to match the hatch if the bite gets tough. I don't think we're gonna have to do that today though.
lights a wall. You always like it when you're looking at the electronics and the screen near the bottom just goes dark red.
Yeah.
A blanket of fish. Holy smokes, yeah.
Hooked up.
Jeff, what kind of line do you prefer using when you're fishing these crappies in 20 to 26 feet of water?
I'm a big fan of braid, and I've been using Power Pro for years. It's been around for years, and this is the 8-pound test. They actually make 5-pound tests that would be really good for this, but I use 8 a lot for some of the bass stuff. And you're hooked up again, I see. But yeah, the advantages of braid is you can, feel those bites from these things in 28, 30 feet of water really easy, and you're going to be able to get a really good hook set.
How about that one?
Stretch.
That was a nice fish.
Yeah.
Nice 12 and a half, 13 incher there. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I've got a small little braided line on as well, very thin diameter. It's probably a 6-pound test, 2-pound diameter.
Do you like to put a leader on?
Well, I have a fluorocarbon leader.
Yeah.
And I tie it with a double loop knot is what I use, Jeff.
Okay.
I really like the double loop knot. It's proved to me to be my favorite anyway. How about you? What do you use to tie on your fluorocarbon?
I just like to use a simple blood knot, Don, as my leader connector, and it's an easy one. And I've been using that for years, and it sort of works for me. I think there's probably better ones out there, but it's a knot that I can tie really quick. I haven't really had it fail on me too many times, so that one works. But
well, the nice thing, there's another fish. The nice thing about the internet, you can go on YouTube video and say you want to tie, you want to find a knot from a braid to a fluorocarbon. You get your choice of about 5 different knots,
yeah.
And that's where I found the one that I wanted. This guy's a little scrappy guy.
The Albright knot's a really good one.
Yeah,
the uni to uni.
I like to use the Albright when I'm fishing for pike, so I can reel my leader material right into through my guide. Oh, there's a nice one. No wonder he was fighting. I can't even lift him. I got to take my drag.
Yeah, when you go to boat flip them in your drag nose, that's a good thing.
Look at that baby.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's a gorgeous fish. If I can grab him here. There we go. Beautiful light. Yeah.
Okay, I had enough of this.
Yeah, I like this little jigging spoon. Holy smokes, that works good.
This might be one of the best days of fishing I have ever had. Hope you're enjoying it. More coming up after this.
Well, 3 years ago, my first year in the Bronzeback, me and my dad went, and we were fishing for a couple hours, and then we haven't caught that much fish, so we went to our secret spot. I caught a fish, but I couldn't really tell how big it was because my line was wrapped around the end of my rod, so it felt big, but it could have been really small. My dad couldn't really help me because if he tried to unwrap the line with the rod, it could break the line and I could have lost the fish, but I eventually got the fish up, and it was a bass, and it was a bit over 3 pounds. It was a couple hours in already of the day, and we haven't caught any big fish that we could bring in the way. And then once I reeled it in, it was big. We were really excited and happy. I think we got like in the 50s out of like 100 but my dad said it was pretty good considering it was my first year in the Bronzeback. I really like fishing, and ever since I was little, my dad took me a lot. And I guess the Bronzeback is just a fun way, a competition that we can go in and just spend time with each other and fish. I've done the Bronzeback every year since then, and I'm doing it again this year with my dad. And hopefully we do better.
You can see all these little white dots on here are all crappies. And I've learned how to use this more from fishing competitively down south. I mean, a lot of these guys that do it for a living, fishing the FLW tour, they're using this to find fish when they're offshore, bass, but it really, really works well for crappies because every one of these little white specks, these are all fish, crappies, and some of them are probably walleyes, and then you can also see them on the bottom. These are all fish along the bottom. And I'm telling you, if you want to go catch crappies, and we use sonar for every type of fishing that we do, but if you want to go catch crappies in the fall, you better have your electronics, working well, and they show you where the fish are. There, we're out of them now. There's nothing on the screen, but there is 100 yards of fish back there, and it's pretty awesome.
But I think the key, though, is people have to understand that it broadens your ability to search and find fish. You're not just in a little area underneath your boat.
If say I'm on a lake that's uncharted, and I want to make a trail across a bay, and there might be reefs, then I'll put it on the widest screen, the widest range rather, and if there's any rock out there and I want to make a trail, I'll be able to pick it up on there really good. I'm going to show you what rock looks like on here now. You can see this was all the mud basin, and there's a little bit of a hump right here. You can see the change in bottom composition. It's rock. There's a big rock right here. We've got a few boulders scattered about, and there, I'm going off the hump now. So there, you can see the edge is drawn perfectly, and then we're back to the soft basin again. So if you're out, say you're looking for a hump that's hard to find, or that's not on the map, or that is on the map, and you just want to mark the edges of it, you can see the side imaging will draw that for you perfectly, and it's definitely a tool that people don't utilize as much as they should. That feels pretty nice.
Good one there, Jeff? Oh, that's a good fish.
Bulldogger, yeah.
Oh, that's the biggest one of the day.
It might be.
I think it is. That's the way to end the show, buddy.
If it is, that's a great way to end the show. That is a big one.
Look at that. Somebody took a chunk out of the
got
back.
a little scuff. Yeah. Well, Don, it's been a pretty quick trip, but we'll probably stick around and catch a few more, and maybe go catch a few bass. We can do it all here.
Yeah, when you said the crappies were going, I saw that picture you posted on Twitter last night, and I go, well, I'm glad I'm fishing with you tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good day. We're gonna eat good tonight. Play with your electronics, get yourself some of the jigs that we've been using today, and you can go out in the fall and catch these things. And a lot of the places where they are now, they're gonna be there all winter. You can go catch some ice fishing, and they're fun to catch. They're not the biggest fish that we have in our lakes, but they're fun to catch, great to eat, and that's a world-class fish right there.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on,
Okay,
Jeff.
buddy. Alan's going home for dinner. Woo!